by Regal Realty Group.
Good, great, grand, wonderful.
We're here on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
And a good Thursday, everybody. Welcome into the Chase and Big Joe Show, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Chase McKay, Big Joe Dubin, Dr. Crane, Nick Frazier with you on this Thursday. Hope you're having a fantastic start to your day. Big Joe, what's up? How are you?
Chaser, how are you, man? Are you doing okay? How was your little bowling thing last night that I didn't get invited to? Was that fun? Was it a good time?
It was fun. Look, I don't know why you. Okay, number one, and I don't think you are, but I get defensive very easily, as you know. that I did not send out invites, so
right.
You have Sean Henry's number, so you call him,
right,
and raise a complaint. But no, it was great. Raising money for the Preds Foundation and Vandy Children's Hospital. This year was Andrew Brunette, the head coach, and his coaching staff basically putting it on, and lots of cool people there. Saw Caleb Joseph, of course, Lipscomb, and played many years in Major League Baseball. Stephen Wright, who lives here now. Some of the Predators
comedian
were there. No, the baseball player.
Oh, okay. I was hoping the comedian would be there, Stephen Wright.
I got to tell you this, though. So I was on a team. I'm not very good, and I warned people ahead of time that if I break 100, it's a good day. Right. Now, I will say this. In the first game, Derek Mason was next to me. I actually beat Derek, and so I can now say that I have beaten an all-pro wide receiver at something, and that is I might as well just retire. I mean, that's a pretty big thing. But then he got into a rhythm. He said his shoulder got loose. And,
are you serious?
He kind of ran away with it in the second game. But there was a guy on our team. Shout out to Spencer. He bowled 6 strikes in a row, and that was a career high for him.
What's that called? And like 3 a turkey and 4
3's
is
a turkey. Yeah, I don't.
4's an avocado
turkey,
or something.
Double turkey.
Yeah, double turkey.
Stuffed turkey.
Look at Dr. Crane. He always brings the heat.
I don't know. We're a couple of turkeys. I know that. But yeah, so shout out to him for bowling 6 in a row and having a career high night. That was fun to watch.
By the way, now you got me looking up Stephen Wright quotes. And do you know who he is, Chase?
Yeah, I've heard of him.
6 strikes is called a ham bone.
Oh, you got a ham bone.
Four is a ham bone. Keezer's giving me the lingo back.
Oh, 4's a ham bone?
4's a ham bone.
Wait, what? How does Keezer know?
He's looking up back here. He's my extra
okay.
assistant.
I thought
Dr. Crane.
I mean, I could see Keezer like on Friday nights going bowling.
Oh yeah,
like him and his fiance and a couple of friends.
He's just shaking his head back here.
Chase,
I support it.
I got to get you up to date on Stephen Wright. This hurting my heart.
Okay.
He's famous comedian. One of his famous quotes is, "The other night I was lying in bed looking up at the stars."
Oh yeah, I know him.
And I wondered, hey, where the hell's my roof?
I know who he is.
Okay.
Now.
All right, just making sure. All right. So you did not bowl with that Stephen Wright last night.
No.
Okay.
I bowled with the baseball player.
Okay. All right.
He was on the Red Sox teams in 04, 07, won the World Series.
And he lives here?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. What did he – man, I look this up now.
Yeah, there you go.
Got me doing all kind of stuff there. All right. Okay, cool, man. He have his World Series ring with him?
No.
Okay.
I know your thoughts on that.
All right. And they are?
You'd wear it everywhere.
Everywhere. I would wear it every single place. I mean, it's a World Series ring, like a Super Bowl ring. I'd wear it everywhere. Like if I'm Vrabel, I'm wearing one around my neck and one on each thumb in practice, and I make sure everybody sees those. That's what I would do if I'm Mike Vrabel. It's a Super Bowl. He's got 3 of them. Hell, he was in 4 Super Bowls. He's got 3 rings.
I know.
You think
I would wear them all the time.
You think Vrabel hates Eli Manning?
Probably. And I was wrong. I forgot Steven was later on. But do you think he hates Eli? Yeah, probably.
Okay. I don't think hate's a strong word, but kind of like because had they won that Super Bowl, that would have been the greatest football team of all time.
Yes.
The 2007 Patriots would have been the greatest football team of all time.
Okay. I know you're going to disagree with me, and most people are.
Okay.
I still think statistically and roster-wise, they are the greatest football team of all time. They just didn't win the Super Bowl, which not obviously knocks them down a peg. But like, you can't argue that would, like, you play that game over again, they probably win.
You can't. No. We don't play revisionist history here.
I know, but I mean, like, do you understand though what I'm saying? Like,
I get it.
Like,
but you have to win a
statistically,
championship to be considered the greatest team of all time. You have to win a championship.
I understand.
Okay.
I understand. But still, like, if you say you have to pick one football team to run through a season with of any team in history, I'm probably going to take that team.
Oh, that's a great question. That's a fantastic question. You take the
Like,
2007 Patriots? Okay.
That 2007 Patriots team, like, even though, yes, they lost in the biggest game. So it doesn't matter. Everything they did, like, nobody cares because they lost the Super Bowl. That's statistically and roster build wise the greatest team of all time, in my opinion.
Okay.
And I would love for somebody to ask Vrabel about that and him go, yeah, I'm focused on
he's not going
focused on the
to. You
Jags.
probably get him after the season at some event where he's being named the Patriots head coach. He'll talk about that. But
I would love to go up to him and be like, look, I can I have 3 minutes to ask you about your playing career and you not yell at me for asking you about your playing career?
it's not going to
Like,
happen, man.
I have, and I'm like, and honestly, I don't really want to ask you that much about Brady. I want to ask you just about the team. Like, the guys on that team are those teams that, were that foundation. Like, that's why I like the man in the arena thing that Brady did a few years ago, because he talks about Teddy Bruschi and Mike Vrabel and those guys and how they basically taught him, some of the aspects of how he conducts himself and how he became like the player that he became.
Michael on the text line says, I feel like Vrabel would wear both his Super Bowl rings around each middle finger. I can see that. But that's a great question. I mean, that is fantastic. What do you think the greatest team is of all time? And, tell us why. To me, it could go football, basketball, baseball, whatever. You got the Patriots. I'll take the 85 Bears every single day. And I know they lost the game to the Dolphins that year on the Monday Night Football, and I get all that, and I watch the game, I remember all that, but just the swagger and the confidence and the fear. I mean, you go back and watch that season with the Bears. I mean, they had played the Rams in the playoffs. The Rams were scared to death. I mean, Eric Dickerson was scared to death. Dieter Brock was the quarterback of the Rams, scared to death. I'll take the 85 Bears all day, every single day. And if the Patriots had won the championship in 2007, I would have probably said yes. But the fact that they didn't do it, and I know they added 2 more games to the regular season. And I get all that because you adapt to the times. But I'm still taking the 85 Bears for the simple fact of they walked into every game knowing they were going to win no matter what. And they also won game, I understand. But, I mean, it would be great. The Titans could walk in every stadium with the swagger saying, we're going to win the game. And it just doesn't happen anymore. So I take the 85 Bears.
Okay. I look, the 85 Bears are probably going to be, if I had to guess, the most popular answer. They probably should be.
I don't know.
I mean,
the 90 what Bulls team went 72-10, the 96 Bulls team or 90s, right?
Yeah, well, I'm just talking football. I say
you open it up to any sport. Well, any, that you follow, that you want to comment on, that you do it. I mean, the Bulls at 96 team, I think it was 96, was good, and we do football as well. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like this is if you want to open it up to any sport, that's fine. I don't care.
All
right. So here I found a list, and because I wanted to compare like what I had in my head of teams where they rank, and so I'm going to be curious if you agree with this.
Yeah. Hit it up, brother.
I'll give it to you coming up next. But 615-737-1025. That's our phone and text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. So any sport you believe is the greatest team of all time.
Well, also, do you have to have a championship? Do you have to have a championship to consider your team the one you think is the greatest team of all time? I think you have to have a championship. I do, but it's weird though.
Well,
Chase,
I can tell you.
Go ahead.
The 07 Patriots are on this list.
Okay. Well, people like teams that don't win championships. I'm all for it. But it's weird though. When it comes to all-time greatest quarterbacks, I don't think that's a qualifier. Isn't that weird? How weird I am on that?
Oh, yeah.
I think it's weird.
Yeah.
Because I think Marino is the greatest quarterback of all time. That's me.
No, for individual, I think it's different. And in fact, I think like I get tired of the argument of, like, okay, I'll use one here. Steve McNair. A lot of times people go, well, or Eddie George, even Derek Mason. Had they won that Super Bowl, we're probably having a different conversation about them in the Hall of Fame.
Amen.
And it's like, but the Super Bowl is a team award.
Yep.
Hall of Fame is an individual accomplishment. I mean, I get that that's a part of it, but that shouldn't be everything. I mean, Marino, like, nobody batted an eye at Marino going in the Hall of Fame. He didn't win a Super Bowl.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
So, 615-737-1025. Got a few texts coming through. We will get to those coming up next. Greg Wyshynski going to join us at the bottom of the hour from ESPN. It's the Chasing Big Joe show presented by Regal Realty Group here on 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
Every Wednesday at 8:30. Join Robbie and Rexroad for The Choice is Yours.
2 sports questions, 2 non-sports questions.
They'll answer a couple of questions about life and sports. The Choice is Yours is built by Jarrett Companies. You have a choice. So when you have a need for site and utility work, fire protection, concrete and asphalt services, the choice is simple. It's Jarrett Companies. For more, visit JarrettCompaniesInc.com. The choice is yours. Wednesdays at 8:30 on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Hey, it's Jared from my friends at Hiller. It's getting colder quickly, and a lot of you are probably firing up the heater for the first time this season. If your system is older or having lots of issues keeping your home warm already, it's probably time for an HVAC replacement. There's no better time to replace your system than right now. Hiller is having their biggest sale ever on select HVAC systems. Get up to $2,600 off a new system until November 15th. This is the biggest discount they've had in years. That's Hiller. Call the Happy Face Truck today.
It's time to celebrate this fall and unleash the beast. Monster Brewing proudly presents to you Beast Unleashed. 0 caffeine, 0 sugar, all the adult beverage fun. The Beast is unleashed with great taste, bold familiar flavors, and 6% alcohol. Go wild with Mean Green, White Haze, Peach Perfect, and Scary Berries. Don't fear the Beast. Enjoy Beast Unleashed at your next tailgate or football party. Drink responsibly. Must be 21 and over.
Hey, are you seeking relief? Maybe you would just like to enhance your day or night. Did you know there are illegal THC products available right here in Tennessee? I'm serious. You can have legal THC products shipped to the comfort of your home. Comfort in Cannabis is only one website away. Visit greentreescompany.com. That's Green Trees with a Z. Change your life today.
Need cash for the holidays or want to be credit card debt free for the new year? Call Loan Pronto today. Their Express Equity line of credit can get you $20,000, $50,000, $100,000 in as little as 5 days. Willie Donick here. Listen up. You've got a ton of equity in your home, and Loan Pronto can help turn that equity into cash to put it to use. You can access up to 95% of your home's value. Use the money to pay off all your credit cards or pay off personal loans. Start the home improvement project you've been looking for. You can get the money you need now and still keep your primary mortgage intact, so your 3% rate is protected. Call right now, 615-499-5780. Get the holiday cash you need or pay off all those credit cards. 615-499-5780 or go online at loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 166-1781, subject to lender approval.
At the Home Depot, Saturdays are about 2 things. Easy cleanup with the Ryobi 18-volt ONE+ Whisper Series leaf blower.
And football.
That's right, Reese Davis. With variable speed, it has the power for when you really need it and just the right amount when you don't. And the ONE+ battery platform means you go from yard work to DIY in just a click, so you can get projects done faster.
Which means more time for football.
For football. Upgrade your Saturday with Ryobi and the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
The Titans are 3-6 after losing to the Bucs.
I'm worried this is stunting the growth of the big picture here.
Can they rebound against Jacksonville?
You're not winning if the offensive line continues to play the way they have been playing.
Keep it locked to Nashville's best Titans talk. 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app. You're listening to the Chase and Big Joe Show, brought to you by Regal Realty Group.
Ooh, macadamia nuts.
If you'd like to buy some, they're only $1 each.
Oh, so that's your little plan. Get us addicted, then jack up the price.
On 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Weather today in the greater Cincinnati area.
They're solid plastic, so don't settle for imitation.
But the senator, while insisting he was not intoxicated, could not explain his nudity.
TV Theme Thursday, Chase and Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
Took a little to get
Frazier's
there.
learning. You got to preview things.
I saw it was the old tape. I was like, "Oh, this could be perfect. This is it." And I was like, "Oh no!"
I told you I used to work with a producer who never previewed anything, and we would have 15-second YouTube commercials. And it was
that's what that felt like.
And so I said, "Hey, do you mind?" He's like, "I know how to do my job." I was like, "Okay." So it became an adventure and this went on for years.
Well,
He
I'll tell you
sounds crazy.
I'll tell you this to the both of you. So I'm looking at the video right now on the online here, and it definitely has like the old VCR tape to the edge to it, and he's just scrolling on the radio. I thought it was a part of the whole theme to it all. I guess not.
You got it, buddy. You're getting there.
It's okay. You're doing fine. Dr.
It's
King.
all right.
615-737-1025. A lot of you weighing in on our question, greatest teams of all time, any sport.
Well, no. It's like, what team would you take? You're right, but what team would you take?
Yes.
Personally, not any list, not any whatever, would you take into a game, or if you had one game to play, whatever, what team would you take?
Michael says, I feel like the only issue with the 85 Bears is that today's NFL doesn't allow for defense like that, though it would be very interesting to see how that team could adapt to today's rules.
Great question.
That's a good point. The defenses of that era, there's a lot of stuff you can't
look at
do
that
anymore.
Bears team: Steve McMichael, Dan Hampton, Richard Dent. Wilbur Marshall, Gary Fenton, and Jeff Fisher was not on that team, so don't send a text in. He got hurt.
Helping Buddy Ryan, I think.
He got hurt in the preseason, did not play on that team. He's helping Buddy Ryan. You're correct.
Yeah, that.
Now we love Jeff Fisher. We love him, but he was not on that team.
It started his coaching career.
It sure
pretty
did.
much. Yeah. Who broke his leg?
That'd be Bill Cowher.
Yep.
Was that right? Yeah.
That is correct. 1936 says the 2001 Miami Hurricanes. That was a really good team.
And what makes me mad about that, had Tennessee not gotten all pompous and big boyed, they would have beat LSU in the SEC championship game and played Miami in the Rose Bowl for the national championship. But Nick Saban, with a backup quarterback, destroyed Tennessee in the 2001 SEC championship game.
Titans fans will not like hearing this. B-Man says 2000 Baltimore Ravens were pretty damn good.
Oh, yes.
They were.
They were.
Despite
Trent Dilfer, they were good.
Gene in Spring Hill, the 2007 Giants were underrated. They lost their first two games and were behind in Game 3 to the Redskins, won that game, going 9-5 the rest of the season and winning 3 road playoff games to get to the Super Bowl. They almost beat the Patriots at the end of the regular season. They did. That was a great game.
Yep. It's on Saturday night.
Yep. On the NFL Network, I think.
It was.
9637. What about the 92 Dream Team? Does that count?
Ooh, that is a fantastic. Yeah, they're a team. They played competition in the Olympics. That's nice job there. 9637. That's hard to top right there, man. That's amazing.
So I watched a. Do you know who Kurt Angle is, the wrestler?
Yeah.
So I watched a documentary on him recently. He won a gold medal in the 96 Olympics in Atlanta. And so he's talking about getting to the Olympics and that whole experience and stuff. And he said, I get to Atlanta and we're lining up for the opening ceremonies and we all walk in and I turn around and Michael Jordan's standing behind me because that was the second iteration of the Dream Team.
Correct.
Which was still pretty good. But he's like, I'm with the Dream Team walking in, and here I am, some punk kid that's just there to wrestle. I was like, man, that would be kind of cool.
Oh, absolutely would have.
Kenny in Spring Hill, I think you'll like this one. 1984 Tigers started the season 35-5.
Yeah, that was a
Detroit
good
Tigers.
Yeah, Sweet Lou Whitaker, Alan Trammell, Kirk Gibson on that team. That was a heck, and they beat the Padres in the World Series.
Who was it that was Lance Parrish on that team?
He was. That's correct. Yeah,
our buddy Lance Parrish.
I think Jack Morris was the pitcher. Don't call me Joe Rexroad. I think so. That's right. Yeah.
30-45, or Billy from Bellevue. The 85 Bears can't beat the Super Bowl Shuffle.
Well, here's funny. Super Bowl Shuffle is that they recorded it the day after. They recorded it like the 10th game of the season, if I remember correctly. The day after they got beat by the Dolphins. Imagine the swag. What if the Titans right now went and recorded some Super Bowl?
We would rip them apart.
Yes,
we would destroy them. Jared wouldn't know what to do. Like, that would give Jared 2 weeks worth of shows.
He would be like that lady in Total Recall. 2 weeks, and her head would explode, and that would be Jared. Yeah.
I mean, like,
oh God, I want him to do it now.
I would love that. I mean, that would make life a lot easier.
What?
Alan Smyrna, the 1976-77 Montreal Canadiens lost only 8 games in regulation, also had 9 future members of the Hall of Fame in their lineup.
Good. See, that's why I love you, these listeners. I had no idea the Canadians of that team were that good. So thank you for that, Al. Appreciate you.
3337, the Legion of Doom. Who's the Legion of Doom?
Was that the the Legion of Boom was the Seahawks.
Yeah, it was the Seahawks.
Well, I mean, or is he asking about the tag team?
Could be.
Let's see. Matthew from Jolton, 2019 LSU.
That was.
I mean, look, that's probably the greatest college football team.
Oh, I got that written down. Yeah, that was. Remember the that game they played in Texas? Burrow throws interception and gets blasted going to make the tackle. And there's that thing that says, from that moment on, LSU was unstoppable. So Burrow got blasted trying to go tackle the guy, and then LSU rolled the rest of the way. You know what? That's another topic, another day if we just do college football, because that was one hell of a football team.
0259 says the 2023 Michigan Wolverines.
Hey, that's America's team, man. Rolling through America's team. Jim Harbaugh has coined them America's team.
Gene at Spring Hill also says the 1927 Yankees.
I mean, you can't. Yeah, I mean, there's no argument for that right there.
All right, we got a couple calls. Let's take some phone calls.
All right,
Daryl wants to weigh in on this. Daryl, what's up?
Hey, what's up, guys? I got a couple of things. Yeah, I'm biased on either one, but the 86 Celtics, 67-15, that was a hell of a team. Defense, probably one of the most unheralded, unheard of, and untalked about of all time. Unfortunately, they lost to Riggins and Theismann in the Super Bowl. I think it was 82.
Yep.
Right short. It was 82, no name.
Oh, no.
Stensky, Baumhauer, Blackwood Brothers, Kuchenberg. That was a pretty tough defense.
It was. He disappeared. Yeah, you're right.
Darryl.
Thank you, Daryl.
Appreciate it. Yeah, no, that was a good one. Good call. Let's go to Steve. Steve wants to weigh in.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
All right. 75 Steelers. I mean, you got guys on that team who changed the NFL rules, namely Mel Blount, not to mention the whole team's Hall of Fame. I mean, Terry Bradshaw won 4 Super Bowls. And seeing as how we're talking college, you got to give it up to Bobby Knight and the 76 Hoosiers, undefeated national champions.
Hey, before you go, why 75 Steelers and not 74?
Because that's when they was pretty dominant. I mean, 74 was a tough game, but 75 I just think was a better team. Because you had Jack Lambert, you had Jack Ham, you had Donnie Shell, you had Mean Joe Green, you had Steve Furness, you had Rocky Blyer, you had Franco. I mean, Lynn Swan, John Stallworth, I can go on.
Yeah, I love it. I looked up the 75 Steelers draft. Awful. None of these guys played anything. It's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, Dave.
Wow.
Thanks, man.
Hey, thanks, Steve. Appreciate it. I got another call. Dan wants to weigh in on this subject. Dan, what's up?
Oh, I'm just talking about those Miami teams. You know, they're talking about greatest college teams. I think that, 99 or the 02 Hurricanes and all them guys that went first round, I think that college team was probably the best. Clint Portis, I don't know how many other players was on that team, but they had 17 first-round picks.
So yeah, and also they got robbed on that BS pass interference call in the end zone.
Right. So yeah. And then my Dolphins, 72, best team ever. Forget about it. I'll leave it at that.
Thank you, Dan. I mean, yeah, we got to have some votes for the 72 Dolphins.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, for sure. Real quick, I told you that top 10 greatest NFL teams of all time. This came out April of this year. I'll give you real quick. 98 Broncos at number 10. 92 Cowboys at 9. The greatest show on turf, the 99 Rams. The 75 Steelers at 7. The 89 San Francisco 49ers at 6.
Not bad.
91 Redskins at 5. 07 Patriots at 4. 84 49ers at 3.
Not bad.
85 Bears at 2. And then
Bears.
the 72 Dolphins.
Okay. I'm not going to argue the 1, 2, or 3, but I'll argue at 4.
Okay. They didn't win a championship. I get it.
That's right.
I totally get it. Good discussion. We'll keep this going throughout the show. Coming up next, we'll talk some hockey with Greg Wyshynski from ESPN. He will join us next. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
If it's important to Nashville,
I'll put it out right now.
It's important to Jared Stillman.
That's it.
He's not afraid to ask the tough questions.
Something is going on, and the question is, what does it mean?
Or give the strong opinion.
And just needed the bozo offensive coordinator to stop ruining the quarterback.
Stillman and Company. Weekdays at 2 on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
I have to confess, I was very excited to call 911. Finally, a good one, and I realize that while what I'm about to say is true, it sounds suspicious. So I'm like, my wife fell down the stairs.
From his multiple Netflix specials, comedian Tom Segura brings his new tour, Come Together, to Bridgestone Arena Friday, April 12th. Tickets on sale Friday at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com.
Get ready for the final race of the year at Duck River Raceway Park. Platinum Building Solutions presents the 35th running of the Gobbler, November 18th, featuring the Hunt the Front Super Dirt Series Super Late models, battling it out for a thrilling $10,000 prize. Enjoy non-stop racing action with support classes like 602, Factory Stock, Open Wheel, Pure Pony, Dwarf, Front Wheel Drive, and $3,000 to win Enduro. Join us at Nashville's closest dirt track. Visit DuckRiverRacewayPark.com for details.
Competitive Edge Strength and Conditioning is a locally owned and operated gym located off Lebanon Pike in Hermitage. Hey guys, it's Big Joe, and Competitive Edge is my gym, and they've made a huge impact in my life. Competitive Edge offers everything you want in a gym. Great rates, best personal trainers, super motivational, high energy workouts, clean and organized, great family atmosphere, and they offer a ton of great classes like my favorite, cardio boxing, which has changed my life. Competitive Edge is open 7 days a week, and they're ready for you to join. Make sure you go check them out and tell them Big Joe sent you.
Hey, Doc, nice office. Quick question. If you had to choose, would you give yourself a root canal or run payroll?
Run payroll, no question.
Seriously? Well, have you run payroll before?
Paying my team with Gusto couldn't be easier. Gusto gives me unlimited payroll runs, next-day direct deposits, and automatically files my taxes. Saves me time.
Wow, that's nice.
Over here, Doc. Can I run payroll too?
Choose payroll without the pain. Visit gusto.com/radio to sign up for free.
When Genesis Diamonds has a sale, you know it's the real deal. And it's happening this weekend. Our final store-wide sale of the year with deep discounts up to 35% off. This is the big one, where the staff knows they can break all the rules. Plus, Genesis selection is nearly double. Designers are here from LA and New York with their entire collections on sale. Luxury pre-owned Rolexes are also marked down. All lab-grown diamonds are also included. The last and best jewelry buying opportunity of the year. Save up to 35%. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday only, and only at Genesis Diamonds. Green Hills and Cool Springs.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. This is your dentist. Do me a favor and feel the front of your teeth. How grimy are they?
Ugh.
It's time for a Crest Pro Health reality checkup. That grime is the buildup of plaque bacteria that can cause cavities in just months. You need to switch to Crest Pro Health. While most toothpaste stop working in minutes, Crest Pro Health's antibacterial fluoride protects for up to 12 hours to stop cavities before they start. So pick some up on the way home. Smile. Crest has you covered.
You're loving the Chase and Big Joe show, just like our listeners. Let's make your business a part of it. This is General Manager Sean Ford. 102.5 The Game listeners love supporting our advertisers. Let us show you how you can be a part of the program. Email me at together@cromwellmedia.com.
This is the Chase and Big Joe show on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Joe on a TV-themed Thursday, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Hope you're having a fantastic Thursday.
Take it, Chase.
No.
This is a great show, man.
It's a good one for sure. We say hello now to our man Greg Wyshynski from ESPN. Joins us every Thursday at 9:30. Greg, what's up? How are you?
Doing well. That was a hell of a throwback theme right there. My goodness. We don't do good themes anymore, by the way. We do good opening credit sequences on HBO shows like, House of the Dragon and stuff. We don't have good theme songs anymore.
Do you know why, Greg?
No. Do you know why?
Yes, because it carves up 30 to 45 seconds of content that they need for the show, so they stopped doing themes. That's why the Office theme was one of the last themes that really became popular, because they said, we're going to play this theme, and they did.
See, but that's insane because like the theme is should be seen as part of the show. It gets you like one of my favorite themes of all time is Roseanne. Okay, and so the Roseanne show, the opening credit sequence is probably like a minute long as it's going around the table and you're seeing all the characters. But like the song itself is so evocative of the vibe of the show. It's like blue collar family, and they're all, kind of a little bluesy and stuff, and like it gets you in the right mindset for a show. So I don't know, I miss it.
Agreed.
100% agree with that. So, Greg, you wrote about Patrick Kane a couple of days ago, and what may happen with him. That there could be 8 teams or so interested in his services. Obviously, underwent a hip resurfacing surgery after last season, and so. That's delayed him. He's not on a team. What are you hearing, and where could we see Kane end up?
Yeah, so they've begun the interview process this week. There's going to be about 8 teams that he speaks with. Most of them, I think, are in the Eastern Conference, though I asked his agent, Pat Brisson, that, and he wouldn't confirm nor deny that's where his focus is. But, we know that the Sabres have reached out. We know the Florida Panthers have been very interested. He's talked to the Toronto Maple Leafs. I think there's a lot of interest in a potential connection with the Detroit Red Wings. So, he's got these teams on his list, and Kane has always been about trying to wait this thing out as long as he can to see which teams could deliver him another Stanley Cup. And, I mean, it's not simply just like where he'd want to play, and there are some interesting destinations and, maybe a reunion with Alex DeBrincat, for example, in Detroit and some of those opportunities. But he wants to compete. He wants to win. He wants to get his name on the cup again. And then the other sort of sidebar to all of this is, what does his contract look like? I mean, I remember reaching out to his camp in the summer, and it seemed very much like he wanted to sign for the rest of the season and then revisit free agency in the summer after everybody sees, in theory, that he's feeling okay. But if teams are stepping up with multi-year contracts, maybe that math changes for him. I don't know.
Talking to Greg Wyshynski. So Edmonton makes the coaching change, and I don't know if that's, we know you got to do something with this team because they're a lot more talented. They bring in Chris Knobloch to be the head coach. What did you think about that move, and do you think that's going to fix things?
Well, I'm feeling great about it now because I picked them to win the cup, and look at them. They're on their way, baby. It's all fixed. No, I felt bad for Jay Woodcroft because their underlying numbers were good. Like, they were playing well when you look at things analytically, but the problem is that their goaltending was undercutting all of it, and it seemed like they were one of these teams, whenever they would make a defensive mistake, it ended up in the back of their net. But that being said, I mean, anybody who watched them lose to the San Jose Sharks in the game where it really kind of determined that Jay Woodcroft would be fired, knows that they needed to have some kind of change in vibe, maybe some kind of change in message behind the bench. The Knobloch thing is hilarious because, we all love a good behind the scenes story. And this guy was Connor McDavid's junior hockey coach. Connor McDavid's former agent now runs the Oilers, and like there's this. You look at the situation and you can't help but think that the star player is the guy dictating who gets hired and fired as coach. Oh, and by the way, Paul Coffey is their assistant coach, and that guy was an advisor to the owner. So you've got in theory again, the handpicked guy from your star player who coached him in junior as your head coach, and then like a narc from ownership as the other guy on the bench. And it's just like one of these situations where you're like, wow, this looks really bad on the outside, and yet, maybe it ends up working. They're playing pretty well right now.
Greg, are there more injuries at the start of the season you've seen before? The top two headlines are about injured NHL players. Ryan McDonough's not playing here. He's injured. Is this just something different this year, or is this just the norm we see every single year?
Yeah, I mean, it obviously, injuries are unpredictable. I mean, there's any manner and sort in which guys get hurt. I will say that it is a bummer, some of these injuries that we're seeing off the hop. Obviously, the Devils are a team that a lot of people anticipated would be a real cup contender potentially this season, and they've been playing for the last maybe more than 2 weeks now without Jack Hughes and Nico Hischier, their top two centers. We just saw Tage Thompson for the Buffalo Sabres go out for probably, they're saying maybe, less than 2 months it seems like, but definitely over a month it seems like is what they're saying. So we're seeing, the kinds of injuries that we probably see every year, but they seem incredibly impactful in the way that some teams are being affected by them.
Greg, on Saturday, Chicago rolls here to take on the Predators. It's a battle for last place in the Western Conference Central. You look at this team from afar. I mean, the Preds are just not playing up to what they should be playing right now. Is it a goaltending thing?
So I was looking at the Preds the other day, and I mean, first of all, obviously, middling special teams are always going to, be a thing that'll subvert any good things you're doing. But they're one of these classic teams that right now their real world output isn't matching what the analytics tell you they should be doing. I mean, analytically, this team is pretty darn good offensively as far as expected goals at 5-on-5, but then you look at their actual output at 5-on-5 and it's pretty bad. Same thing with the defense. And so you say to yourself, are these things that can turn around? Definitely. I mean, that's why you kind of look into the analytics of things is to see where things should be and wonder why they're not there. And in the Preds case in particular, their shooting percentage right now is in the lower third of the league. And so, shooting percentage, power plays, things like that, those are elastic. Like those are stats that can be pretty bad for a few weeks and then snap into place and be pretty good for a month, So my hope is still there that they can turn it around. I think it's a good roster. I think, like we've talked about before, I think Andrew Burnett's a good coach. It's just a matter of kind of like waiting it out a little bit until these metrics start to turn around and hoping that you're still relevant in the standings by the time that they do.
We're talking to Greg Wyshynski from ESPN. I know that the league has been meeting about overtime, the 3-on-3 overtime, and maybe making some tweaks to it. What are your thoughts on that, and what could we see in the near future?
Yeah, I was at the GM meetings in Toronto, and they're specifically talking about the 3-on-3 overtime, the fact that they're a little bit worried about there not being enough action. There's too many times where teams circle back into their own zone and wait it out, and they're just skating around and not moving forward and attacking. So they've been talking about ways to maybe restrict teams going back into their own zone to regroup. They're talking about, even the potential of like a shot clock where you have to clear your own zone in a certain amount of time or the other team gets the puck. But I mentioned this on our podcast that dropped today that you can find on all the podcast and platforms. I'm not convinced there's a problem. Like, the function of 3-on-3 overtime is to prevent shootouts. Like, that's why they invented it, the NHL. That they put it in because they didn't want games being ended in the shootout. They didn't want to get rid of the shootout because games have to end in some way. But they wanted to have less shootouts. And so if that's the aim of the 3-on-3 overtime, last season, 69% of the games that ended in a regulation tie ended before the shootout. That's the highest percentage we've had since the shootout was implemented. So if the function of the thing is to prevent shootouts, it's doing a pretty good job. And so I don't really care if these guys are lollygagging in their own end and there isn't like 100 shots during overtime. Eventually there is action in every overtime I watch. I think it's working as far as its function of preventing shootouts from having to decide these games.
If it's not broke, don't fix it. That's kind of how I look with this thing of They've gotten, I believe, what they wanted out of it. And I'm still one of those people that, like, maybe more so with the All-Star game, where I'm like, maybe it's a little too gimmicky. But for overtime, I do agree that I think it accomplishes what they wanted it to do.
Yeah, and for all the talk about there not being like a lot of action in overtime, if you look at the shots on goal on average in overtimes for the last like 7 or 8 years, they've kind of been around the same number. It's around 2, maybe a slight decrease over the last couple of seasons, but nothing too dramatic. And again, like if you watch these overtimes, they pass the eye test. Even the ones that are a little bit more cautious and deliberate, the minute somebody misses a shot, we're off to the races, like every single time. It's not like the other team gets the puck and then they're waiting it out. They're going the other way real quick. So all it takes is someone to make one mistake or take one shot attempt that misses the net, and then you get that kinetic 3-on-3 overtime thing that I think the league really wants.
All right, Greg, before you go, November 16th at 9:42 Central Time, as of right now, who is the best team in the NHL?
Best team in the NHL right now, from the ones that I've seen and based on current record, I think you probably have to go with I still go with the Vegas Golden Knights over the Boston Bruins. I still worry that the Bruins, at the end of the day, might not have enough offense. Their defense is impeccable. They've got guys that can certainly put the puck in the net. But if I'm going to talk about which team is the deepest and most talented and can beat you in a number of different ways, I'm still probably going with Vegas over Boston at this point.
Okay, I tend to agree with you on that. Greg, good stuff as always. We'll talk to you next week.
Anytime.
Greg Wyshynski, ESPN, joins us, talks some hockey with him every Thursday at 9:30. I do want to touch on Joe's question to Greg about goaltending.
Okay.
Because Barry Trotz was on with Jared yesterday, Predators general manager, and he did talk about the goaltending with his team right now. We'll discuss that coming up next. Plus, continue to take your texts on the team that you would ride with, that you believe is the greatest team ever, any sport that you would want to ride with. Got a lot of good votes and some interesting discussion. We'll get back into that as well here on the Chase and Big Joe Show, presented by Regal Realty Group on 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
Vanderbilt basketball lives here.
Hey, it's Kevin Ingram. It's Vanderbilt and Central Arkansas this Friday night. Join Tim Thompson and me starting at 5:30.
Your home for the Commodores is 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Some people put off things that need doing. Not you. Harbor Freight knows you're a today's the day kind of person. And I'm on it kind of person. A bring it kind of person. So if you're rolling up your sleeves today and you don't want to overpay for tools, you're a Harbor Freight kind of person. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Genesis Diamond's biggest and last sale of the year is here this weekend. It's an extraordinary event with savings up to 35% store-wide. Rings, earrings, pendants, bands, bracelets, nothing's held back for this once-a-year 3-day store-wide event. Acclaimed designers are here with expanded collections and special pricing. Plus, get 0% interest financing. Luxury pre-owned Rolexes included. Lab-grown diamonds included. It's this Friday, Saturday, and yes, even open Sunday for this incredible event. Genesis Diamonds, Green Hills and Cool Springs.
Blue Raider fans, your home for all the MTSU football and men's basketball action is on 93.3 Classic Hits and 95.1 Classic Hits in the borough. Catch the action all season long with Chip Walters on the call. Go Blue Raiders!
Your company's hiring. Who isn't? We would love to show you how to use 102.5 The Game to attract and retain employees. We can also help you find the exact person you're looking for with a targeted digital campaign. You can trust our team to help you build your team. Email us at together@cromwellmedia.com.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees, Earth, Wind, and Fire, and Chicago reunite together again. The Heart and Soul Tour 2024. Earth, Wind, and Fire, and Chicago. Live at Bridgestone Arena, August 20th. Nashville, this is going to be a night to remember. Get tickets this Friday at 10 a.m. at LiveNation.com.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. What's up?
I'm tired of feeling so bloated.
That used to be me. Then I got this.
Align Bloating Relief plus food digestion. A probiotic, right?
Yeah, it works naturally with your gut to help soothe occasional bloating and gas. Plus, it has vitamin B12 to aid digestion by helping convert food to cellular energy. 2 benefits, 1 capsule.
Align Bloating Relief plus food digestion from the #1 doctor-recommended probiotic brand. Learn more at alignprobiotics.com.
This year, Staples wants everyone to have a happy Holla Deal. That's right, Holla Deal. Staples Holla Deals are amazing savings on hot holiday tech. Great prices on laptops, game systems, earbuds, and more. And now at Staples, you can save up to $350 on select PCs. During Staples Holla Deals, it's not about the fa-la-la. It's about saving moo-la-la. Save up to $350 on select PCs today at Staples. Ends 11/18 in-store only. See associate for details.
Our voice.
Right now, Tennessee's either the 3rd or 4th best team in the SEC.
Your voice.
This year, they don't have the ability to complete those deep passes.
And what matters to Nashville.
He wants to do at Tennessee what he had dreamed of doing at Oklahoma.
We are 102.5 and 106.3 The Game. You're listening to the Chase and Big Joe Show, brought to you by Regal Realty Group.
We are spying on you pretty much around the clock.
But why, Mr. McGuire?
Do you want to know the terrifying truth? Or do you want to see me suck a few dingers?
Dingers!
On 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3, The Game, broadcasting live from the Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical Studios. Hey, join Jared Stillman, Chris Sanders, and Derek Mason at Twin Peaks and Cool Springs this Sunday from 9:30 to 11:30 for our NFL pregame show. They'll break down the Titans' Week 11 matchup against the Jags and give you the latest updates before the game.
Take it, Chase.
NFL pregame is presented by Parman Tractor and Equipment and the Beast Unleash.
Take it.
Get up that hill. That's all you get.
Louder.
No.
Come on.
I don't
Nick,
know.
turn it up, Nick. Here we go. Yep.
It's you and me, baby. There ain't nothing wrong with that. Moving on.
Oh, yeah.
It's good stuff.
I'm
the
like
Jeffersons.
10 years old again watching that show. I think it was Sunday night on CBS.
A spinoff of All in the Family.
It was.
George Jefferson was the neighbor. And then they moved on up.
One of the
Good
greatest
stuff.
TV characters of all time. Fantastic.
Yes.
All right, what
Yes,
you got,
indeed.
Chase, about Saros?
Yeah, I thought this was interesting. Barry Trotz, usually he's on Tuesday at 5 with Jared, but was on yesterday, and I was listening to this, and Jared asked him his thoughts on goaltending and Saros specifically at this point. Here was what Barry Trotz had to say.
Well, I would say we have the Juice is one of the best goaltenders in National Hockey League, and if you talk to him or his game, and you just look at the analytics, all that, his game is not at the level that we expect the Juice. And he is someone who stole hockey games, and he will continue to do that. He has the most pressure of any player in our hockey team because in the last number of years he's been the backbone. He's always been a busy goalie. Now he's not as busy because we're doing a really good job in front of him, in terms of limiting and breaking out pucks and doing those things. And all of a sudden, 2 periods go by, and now the other team's on the power play to start the third period. All you've seen is 10 shots in the whole game. It's a different mentality for him. So I've seen this with Pekka Rinne. I've seen it with almost all the goaltenders. I've gone to some clubs that couldn't keep it out of their net, and I had to tighten things up. And all of a sudden, the goalie who was used to 45 is getting 10. There was some growing pains. So I think Juice is going through that. But I'll tell you what, there's not a better person and a better professional than Juice, and we're gonna be riding him for a while if we're gonna get back in this race.
That was Barry Trotz yesterday on Stillman and Company, and I find that to be interesting because one thing that we always go back to with him is with UC Saros, that is he's a slow starter. He always has been. He has been his entire career. That his the first month and a half of the season is a little bit slow for him. But now you add, like Barry was talking about, the kind of the difference in front of him and the different style of play that they now have, that there's got to be an adjustment. And I think that's something that people should pay attention to.
Well, you talk about stealing games, and Trotz is correct on all that right there. We've seen this. The goalie goes, the team goes. When We saw it for Pekka for so many years, stealing games that way and standing on their head and all that. So if he doesn't play well, this team has no chance, zero chance. He plays well, this team's in every game.
Yeah, like how many times did we talk about with Pecorine that you score 3 goals, he's probably going to win the game for you? I mean, that's where they have to try and get to, that 3-goal margin, and then Juice can probably steal a game for him. That's exactly what Barry was saying right there, and so they just got to get to that point. And we talked to Roman Yossi yesterday, good conversation with him, and you can obviously sense and I liked the line that he said, and I think it was you that asked the question of the difference in mad and frustrated, and he's like, if you want to be mad, be mad. I want you to be mad. Like that's what he wants from his team, and sometimes that will motivate a team. I'll never forget, I watched an interview with Dale Earnhardt Jr. one time, and they asked him, they said, sometimes we listen to your radio and you're yelling at Tony Uri Sr., your crew chief, and Tony Sr. was sitting there too, and he goes, yeah, I try to piss him off. He drives better. There's times, and Dale Sr. was the same way. And so I think in any sport, like if you're mad, it's going to motivate you and drive you.
Yeah, I mean, you got to have that fire burning. I mean, we've watched it. How many times we watched that Lawrence Taylor clip where they're playing the Jets and he gets taken down like a bad block, and he's like, Schuler, I'm coming for you. I'm coming. And he's mad, and he goes out there and just destroys the Jets on the next couple of plays. So, I mean, I know you can't carry that on every shift and I understand that, but you got to do it more than not. Does that make sense? You got to get out there and play like you're never going to play again. And I know you look at it, well, we got 82 games and all these shifts. We got to get out there and everything that goes on. But it's the ones who carry that attitude and that anger with them more than not are the teams that win the games. It's a proven fact.
I love our text line sometimes because I'm going to assume there's some voice to text and autocorrecting that goes on. So David in Murfreesboro, if Sorrows, Sorrows, gave up 19 goals in his last 3 games before Anaheim, is Lincoln, not Lankinen, going to give up more if he played? I don't know. I don't think Lincoln would give up too many goals. But that's a good question.
I got a joke for that, and I just tell me to shut up. Just tell me to shut up.
Shut up,
okay,
Joe.
Thank you. I'll tell you off. I'll text the joke to you. I was going to tell you. Right, I'll do it right now.
Yeah. Oh no. This should be good.
Okay.
So, but Predators off until Saturday. They're back in action. A matinee game against Connor Bedard and the Chicago Blackhawks. By the way, is Keyser still there? Is he still where he
is not?
Okay. I was going to pick at him because I laughed in his update, when he was talking about Connor Bedard. I'm like, get a room already, man. Like, come on.
Oh. Hey, by the way, Robbie they had a trivia question this morning about which Predator scored the Game 3 versus the Blackhawks in 2017 playoffs in overtime. Who was that?
I just read your joke. Ask me the question again.
Sorry. We can't say that on air. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. If you want to know what the joke it is, it's pretty funny. Send me a text. I'll send it to you. Who was the number? Dr. Crane just left the room. He's out for now. Chase is still there?
Yeah.
All right. Oh goodness. I'm so sorry. I am.
Bad JoJo. Bad JoJo.
Who was the Preds player that scored the Game 3 overtime versus the Blackhawks in 2000? Damn it, Robbie. Text in and tell us who it is. 2017 Stanley Cup playoffs.
Oh,
was it Harry Z? No,
Harry Z was Game 2, I think.
Well, Game 3 would have been here.
It was Fiddler, wasn't it?
I thought that was the Blues.
Oh, that was the Blues. Yeah, you're right. Maybe it was Harry Z,
but it was here in Nashville because Game 1 and 2 was up in Chicago. So I don't remember. Anyway,
I don't know.
That's what I get.
Teaser would know.
That's what I get for listening to Robbie and Rex Road.
Well, it's a good show. You should listen to it.
Oh, Rebecca wants to know the joke.
No.
Oh, no. Rebecca. Well.
Oh, Fiala. Thank you, Gover.
Okay.
I knew Gover would know. Yeah, it was Fiala.
Our man Gover. Appreciate you, buddy. Love you.
Thanks.
Okay,
Thanks
good.
for listening, Gov. All right.
Nice.
With that, we're gonna step aside for a second after Joe's
I'm
joke.
Sorry.
We'll get back into our greatest teams and also some college football coming up in the and maybe the Titans too in the next hour. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
ElectronicExpress.com. We make it happen.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Regular season hoops are heating up. The NBA's inaugural in-season tournament is tipping with group play across the country. Catch the action Tuesdays and Fridays all month long at the #1 sports bar.
Need cash for the holidays or want to be credit card debt free for the new year? Call Loan Pronto today. Their Express Equity line of credit could get you $20, $50, $100,000 in as little as 5 days. Willie Donick here. Listen up. You've got a ton of equity in your home, and Loan Pronto can help turn that equity into cash to put it to use. You can access up to 95% of your home's value. Use the money to pay off all your credit cards or pay off personal loans. Start the home improvement project you've been looking for. You can get the money you need now and still keep your primary mortgage intact, so your 3% rate is protected. Call right now, 615-499-5780. Get the holiday cash you need or pay off all those credit cards. 615-499-5780 or go online at loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 166-1781, subject to lender approval.
Hey, it's Pete Weber. Saturday, the Predators have a midday matchup against the Chicago Blackhawks. Join Max Hers, Jay Moore, and me starting at noon.
Your home for Smashville is 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app. All of us at 102.5 and 106.3 The Game want to recognize our active military, veterans, first responders, and educators with the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming.
And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air,
gave proof through the night that our flag was still there.
oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
This is 102.5 and 106.3 The Game. Now, your Game Center update.
This Game Center Update is brought to you by Gary Force Acura, proud sponsor of your Nashville Predators. This is Nick Frazier. Last night on the court, the Vanderbilt women's basketball team remained perfect on the season as they beat the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers. Two great performances from standout players Jordan Cambridge and Sasha Washington. Washington led the Commodores in points with 16, while also collecting 10 rebounds. The Commodores play again Monday at home against Alabama State. Tip-off is set for 1 p.m. News yesterday from the Tennessee Titans. Head coach Mike Vrabel spoke to the media and mentioned Treylon Burks is still in concussion protocol. He did not practice yesterday, and Andre Dillard as well did not practice due to concussion protocol. A few other players who were limited participants in practice were Sean Murphy-Bunting, Anthony Kendall, and Daniel Brunskill. I'm Nick Frazier, and you're listening to 102.5 and 106.3 The Game.
For more, follow us on Twitter at 102.5 The Game or visit thegamenashville.com. Live from the Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical Studios. WPRT FM Pegram, WPUC HD2 Laverne.
Ross Chastain will be first to finish in the Ally 500 at Nashville Super Speedway.
Nashville's exclusive home for NASCAR. 102.5 and 106.3.
Checkered flag is in the air. Man, this is a win in the cup race.
The Game.
A Cromwell Media Station.
Let me talk to you. Talk what's important to Nashville.
Sweet mother of God, what is the holdup?
This is the Chase and Big Joe Show.
Well, Lottie frickin' God!
With Chase McCabe and Big Joe Dubin. Brought to you by Regal Realty Group.
Good, great, grand, wonderful.
We're here on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Hour number 2, Chase and Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. He's Big Joe Dubin. I'm Chase McCabe with you. Nick Frazier, Dr. Crane on the ones and twos. Hope you're having a fantastic start to your day to this point. Joe, we haven't really talked about this, but I've seen you sent us the video, but I've kind of seen things circulating around on X, the artist formerly known as Twitter. The handshake, if you want to call it that, between Eli Drinkwitz, the head coach at Missouri, and Tennessee head football coach Josh Heupel after Missouri shellacked the Tennessee Vols. Do we consider that a shellacking?
We do. We do.
Okay,
That's
they shellacked them.
Yes. That's a beat.
Yes, and I think we have the audio of this, but it's kind of making the rounds and getting some discussion going. This was the exchange between Eli Drinkwitz and Josh Heupel.
Yep. We stand on business, Josh.
We stand on business, Josh. What exactly does that mean? And then he quickly turns his back and walks away. That was the handshake.
It is. It's absolutely bizarre. I mean, is there a backstory? I mean, is he trying to sell waterbeds? we stand on business, Josh. I don't get it, and it exploded last night on X, and people are like, what in the world does that mean? And so it's just great fodder for us because look, all these coaches are weird. We know that. These head coaches are weird. They got to deal with a lot of things, but that was just, we stand on business. Was he selling cars? I don't know.
Have you read some of these comments?
No. Please read them. Where are we finding these?
Cubs, this is on the tweet that you sent. Cubs Rule 365 says, this is the epitome of a nerd trying to say something cool to a football player but running away so they don't get beat up.
Oh, that's fantastic. We stand on business.
Big Orange Heupel said, hell, the man took his team and had them take Tennessee to the proverbial woodshed. No use in spinning it for me. Scoreboards tell me what I need to know. The rest is nonsense.
Oh, yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah,
man.
People are like, what does that even mean? We stand on business.
I don't. I mean, did somebody ask? Because look, that came out last night, correct?
Yeah.
They played it and they got the audio out there. I mean, so what's the context behind or before that? Was there something that happened with during SEC meeting? I know they've been jawing back and forth, but that's just crazy.
Well, I wonder if it's a part of I feel like Missouri. And correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I'll admit I'm wrong. This is just my opinion of. They've been in Missouri and Texas A&M have been in the SEC since 2012, right? So we're at almost 14 years, or no, 12 since they joined the SEC.
And they've been to more SEC championship games than Tennessee has.
They have, but I still feel like they feel like they're kind of treated like the proverbial redheaded stepchild. You know what I mean? Like that they're not given the credit that they deserve. Does that make sense?
So the saying, we stand on business, as somebody wrote, has become popular slang recently. The phrase is open interpretation for what it exactly means, but it means something to the effect of, we take care of business, or we do what we're going to say. We practice what we preach, and we are about morals. Okay, I don't know how that
Sure,
applies.
and look, I have no problem him saying that. I had no problem with the interview on CBS where he said our defense kicked their ass. You did. Nothing is wrong with what you said.
Well, that's he said here. They asked him and said, we had some unfinished business from last year. We took care of business. He told CBS postgame, our defense kicked their ass.
Right. Matthew in Nashville. Eli's mad because we dropped 66 on them last year, and he demanded the NCAA strip Tennessee of their wins over Missouri when Jeremy Pruitt was there.
Okay.
That's from Matthew. Dustin in Hopkinsville. You can say what you want when you spank that ass. He's right though.
He's correct.
I have no problem with the crap talking.
No, not at all.
I have no problem because guess what? You backed it up.
Yeah,
exactly. You can talk the talk when you walk the walk, and that's exactly what happened.
But we stand on. If he had just said, "Hey, man, we take care of our business or whatever," or our, but we stand on business. I don't. That's just it's just weird. It's like he's selling used cars. I don't understand that. But
so I guess people are asking, like, because they scored late and they already had the game won, because Tennessee did that too. Is that just kind of like all right, you gonna run it up? And again, we talked about this, like. To me, in college, there's no running up. Like, there's no such thing. Stop them. You don't like it, do something about it.
Correct.
Like, I don't have an issue with it. And again, and I think that this is a respect thing. I feel like, and I would love for a Missouri fan to weigh in. I feel like Missouri doesn't feel respected and has never felt respected in the SEC, even though they first joined the SEC. They were in the SEC championship. They haven't won it. I get it, but like they've certainly, and now they're resurgent. I mean, that's a good football team.
Yeah, it is.
You saw them firsthand against MTSU. That's a good football team. And that was a win that they earned, and they did whip that ass, and they can brag and talk crap all they want.
Language. Goodness. I also think Eli is going out of Missouri if they win these next two games. If they go 10-2, he bounces.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be interesting because, A&M is the – by the way, did you see the report that A&M apparently through back channels contacted Dan Campbell? Because he went to A&M. So they did that like stay in Detroit, my friend.
Yep.
Got a good thing going there.
Lou Holtz said the biggest regret he ever did coaching was leaving Arkansas to go coach the Jets. I know it's vice versa of Dan Campbell, but find your lane. He's a great pro coach. What he does in the pro ain't going to apply to Texas A&M. So stay. But I don't fault A&M for reaching out to him. And did you see also Ross Bjork, our next coach, his contract will be incentive-based. Don't take that job if you're looking incentive-based. Which, I get it because
that's a dumb thing to say publicly.
Because you know what they did? Well, I mean, they blanked the bed with Jimbo, and this is just nonsense. But I don't know. Can you imagine if NFL players had to clock in and out and made $18 an hour?
Yeah, there wouldn't be an NFL.
There would not be an NFL. You are correct, sir.
That's I think that's how the NFL started. With the Packers and the Bears, and like didn't the first like Green Bay Packers team actually work at the Green Bay packing plant or whatever? I think
that's correct. Yes.
Yeah. So, but yeah, you're right. I think like, who would you take right now? You get to choose between these two guys, Mark Stoops from Kentucky or Eli Drinkwitz
at A&M,
at Joe Dubin University. Whatever.
Right now, I'd go with Eli, man, for what he's done with that program. Because look, a lot of kids saying you ain't getting the 4 stars at Missouri. Heck, you're probably not getting the 3 stars at Missouri. Stoops has gotten a lot of good talent in Kentucky, but I know he's playing Georgia, he's playing Tennessee, he's played Florida. I mean, he's won football. But I think Stoops, Chase, he got there in 2013. If I'm correct, he's only won more than 8 games 3 times. So
that may be right. The only reason that I would tend to pick Stoops is because he's proven it a little bit longer than Drinkwitz. I mean, this is the first year that, like, Eli Drinkwitz going into this year, I think was on the hot seat. I mean, I warm seat maybe, but
right,
like he hadn't done anything all that impressive.
No, and so now they're sitting there at 8-2. If they finish out 10-2, I think he balances out. I mean, who thought Missouri would be number 9 right now in mid-November? I certainly didn't. And, Tennessee's fallen to 18th. But I think if I'm Eli, I can't even pronounce his last name correctly. Just Eli.
Drinkwitz.
Drinkowitz or Drinkwitz? Drinkowitz?
I think it's probably Drinkwitz, but I think it is Drinkowitz.
All right, I'll go. I'm deferring to you on this because if you're wrong, then I'll laugh. That way I don't have to.
So Mark Stoops at Kentucky in 11 seasons, including the better part of 11 seasons. He's 72 and 63, 4-3 in bowl games. You are correct. He's only had 3 seasons above 8 or more wins. He did that in 2018 with 10, 19 with 8, and then 2021 with Levis and had 10 wins.
So again, when Florida lets Napier go, I think Stoops goes right after that Florida job. I think he's done all he can do at Kentucky, and he goes after that Florida job. And Florida would be smart to hire Stoops because he's got the experience. He's won big games. He knows how to recruit. And now he's on that platform. I think that's what happens. That's me. And if it happens, then you won't hear the end of that from me.
It's going to be
nonstop.
So I don't know if I don't think I've said this on the air. I think Kiffin ends up at A&M.
I don't think they want him because I don't think Kiffin can win big games. I really don't. Tell me a big
I don't know
game
if he
he's
can
won.
either.
He beat Alabama that one year with a shootout, didn't he? If I remember correctly,
No.
like 55
At Ole
to
Miss?
50. Is that right? Did they beat him?
No.
Okay.
He's never beat Alabama.
All right. No. What?
He's come close.
Okay.
Okay. He's never beat
I
Alabama.
know what you're talking about, Joe.
No,
It was in Tuscaloosa. Yeah, it was like a 55 to 53 or something like that. Yeah.
I wouldn't take
Yeah,
Kiffin.
I mean, it was a
wouldn't
great
take him.
football game.
I wouldn't take him. No.
Well, look, has Texas A&M proven that they know what they're doing?
They have
no.
not.
I mean, they have not. I mean, paying Jimbo what they did was stupid. I mean, just absolutely stupid.
Just all that money.
And now he's making $76 million to sit on his couch.
And I used to steal beer out of his
nothing.
refrigerator at Samford, and now he's got $76 million to take away.
If you somehow could get a hold of him and called him, would he know who you were? Would he
Oh, yeah.
answer and be like, "Oh, Joe, how you doing, man?"
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be like, "Hey, big guy." It would be, yeah. I mean, we last time we talked was 2006 in Knoxville when he was the OC in 2006 when they had Jamarcus Russell beat Tennessee that year. We talked after the game for a little while, but that's the kind of last contact. I mean, we know each other, but I think he's a pompous jerk. He was in college, and from all accounts, he never changed.
With all that said, though, if you could figure out how to get him on the show, I would absolutely love that.
Could you imagine? He's like, "Yeah, come on, I'll talk anything." Okay, welcome.
I'd be like, "All right, so why didn't it work?"
Remember the time I used my credit card to get into your dorm or your on-campus apartment, and I took all the beer out of your refrigerator? Milwaukee's best, the best beer ever. Yeah.
If we got him on the show and just basically set him up to, talk crap about Saban and college football and A&M and like all these things, like that would be fantastic.
Oh, that'd be great radio, and he would.
Because that's exactly what we would do.
But we'd have to talk about our adventures in South Side of Birmingham and my time at Samford, where how we did not get arrested every single night. I will never ever know. And Jimbo was a part of that. We had fun. I mean, we were college kids, and we were just downtown having fun. There was a place near UAB, Chase, where it was penny. And I'm this is terrible, and I apologize. I'm 19 years old, and it was penny beer, and you could have a Dixie cup, and it was penny beer all night long until somebody went to the bathroom. So nobody would go to the bathroom. You would just drink. I know it's stupid. I get it. And then finally somebody would go to the bathroom, and you're like, "What are you doing?" And you would just shame them constantly. And if people wonder why I get kicked out of Samford, well, there's a small part right there. there's
that and your 8 spring breaks that you went on.
I told you I was Bert Kreischer at Samford, and just an awful student, but my God, I had the best time.
And
by the way,
now
he's in
look at
concert tomorrow night at Bridgestone.
He sure is.
Yep.
He sure is. Josh says you guys think Tennessee will beat Georgia. Not surprising. You didn't see how good Missouri is. Thank you, Josh.
But we talked about, though. I mean, this is Tennessee's Saturday is Tennessee's national championship. This is their national championship.
It totally is.
Yeah.
And look, we could turn out to be wrong, and if we are, we'll come on the air Monday and go, we were wrong.
But if we're right,
but
we're going to stand
we
on
will come on the air
business.
Monday and be like, we told you, y'all doubted us. We stand on business. Matthew in Nashville says, Big Joe will appreciate this. We stand on business sounds like the Oilers coach Bill Peterson saying, we're not going to take this standing down.
Yes, that's fantastic.
Oh, that's good. 615-737-1025.
Shoot that thing.
Continue the discussion. We'll continue the discussion next. It is the Chase and Big Joe show here on 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Tune in to 93.3 Classic Hits this Saturday for MTSU football. JoJo and Chip Walters will have coverage for you beginning at 12, kickoff at 1 at home against UTEP. Coverage also available on the 93.3 Classic Hits app and 93.3classichits.com.
We are Nashville's best sports talk, live and local from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. When you want the national
Hey. I got this. I'll take it from here.
Okay, go ahead. Dying to hear this.
We have the best national voices that you'll find anywhere.
Who was more deserving of being thrown from their game?
I'm odd, so I get the odd picks.
They have a new coaching staff.
It's not a bad scenario for them.
We are 102.5 and 106.3 The Game.
And 94.9 The Fan.
Yo, check this out.
Ah, Porvu. Imagine a wonderland, vast as the eye can see. We're talking a whopping 10,000 square feet, stocked with wine, spirits, and over 1,500 beers from around the globe. And if that's not enough, they've got you covered with a massive horde of ready-to-guzzle cocktails like High Noon.
Well, saddle up, partner. It's Porvu, the adult equivalent of a candy store. Open from 9 to 9 Monday through Saturday and from 10 to 6 on Sundays, too. Not leaving your sofa during the next big game? No worries, my jersey-wearing couch potato. You can place your orders at portfood.us or download their super snazzy app.
Just picture hockey night. He shoots, he scores, we toast.
We're talking about a good old round of tequila shots, of course.
Tequila!
Porvu has it all. Tequila is always a big hit, just like Uncle Frank at the family parties.
Wine, spirits, beers, mixers, barware, gifts, party supplies, and more.
Curbside pickup at absolutely zero charge, mind you, and home delivery.
Indian Lake Boulevard in Hendersonville, just off Vietnam Vets, exit 7.
Porvu. It's all Frenchy and fancy, meaning for you.
Score!
Hal Gill here for my good friends at Dunkin'. I get my dunks every morning. I grew up with Dunkin' in Boston, and it's been my favorite ever since. Fall in love with Dunkin's pumpkin coffee, lattes, muffins, and donuts. Made with their signature high-quality coffee, each sip and bite is sure to delight. Perfect for those cool autumn mornings or as a sweet treat any time of day. You won't be able to resist the delicious pumpkin flavor. Get pumped for pumpkin. Stop by Dunkin' today.
Whether you drink it neat, in a cocktail, or like our boys at Bridgestone, on ice, Blue Note Bourbon hits all the right notes. From the ever-popular Blue Note Juke Joint to our fabled Blue Note Crossroads. It doesn't matter if you're watching the Preds at a bar or just hanging at home. Our double gold medal winning, hand-bottled, straight bourbon whiskey always sounds like a good time is about to be had. Blue Note Bourbon. Take note. Sip responsibly.
When Genesis Diamonds has a sale, you know it's the real deal. And it's happening this weekend. Our final store-wide sale of the year with deep discounts up to 35% off. This is the big one, where the staff knows they can break all the rules. Plus, Genesis selection is nearly double. Designers are here from LA and New York with their entire collections on sale. Luxury pre-owned Rolexes are also marked down. All lab-grown diamonds are also included. The last and best jewelry buying opportunity of the year. Save up to 35%. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday only, and only at Genesis Diamonds. Green Hills and Cool Springs.
Hey, it's Jared from my friends at Hiller. Hiller's Cash for the Holidays promotion is back, and they're giving away cash for the holidays with select purchases. Hiller wants to make sure every child experiences the joy of Christmas this year, and they're donating $50 in toys to Toys for Tots with every tankless water heater purchase, and giving away a $250 Visa gift card with each unit. Get a $500 Visa gift card when you buy select new HVAC systems, or a $500 Visa gift card with the purchase of any new whole home generator. These deals are only available until the end of the year, so schedule today at happyhiller.com.
This is the Chase and Big Joe Show, brought to you by Regal Realty Group.
Coach, didn't you say at the beginning of the season that we should be really fat? No, I said fast. Oh, damn!
On 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
I'm Samurai Mike, I stop 'em cold. Part of the defense, big and bold. I've been jamming for quite a while, doing what's right and setting the style. Give me a chance, I'll rock you good. Nobody messing in my neighborhood. I didn't come here looking for trouble. I just came to do the Super Bowl show. We are the Bears.
Back here, Chase and Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Mike Singletary.
I love the
Super Bowl shuffle.
Is McMahon coming up? He's the funky QB known as McMahon.
Known as McMahon.
When he hits the field, he's got no play. Here we go. Nick's got it for us. Hold on. Here we go. I mean, the beat gets you. That's a mid-'80s beat right there.
If this is McMahon, turn it up.
I'm the funky QB known as
Yep.
McMahon. When I hit the turf, I've got no plan. I just throw my body all over the field. I can't dance, but I can throw the field.
Where are the sunglasses?
Oh, yeah.
Which he had like an eye thing, right? And that why he had to wear the sunglasses?
Yeah, when he was a kid, he got a fork went into his eye, and so he's like partially blind to that eye. Also, I saw an interview. Since he quit playing football, he's only worn shoes one time. He wears flip-flops everywhere. He wore shoes to his daughter's wedding. I think that's the only time he's done that. You know, if I'm bored in the next couple days, I would love to write a 2023 Tennessee Titans Super Bowl shuffle to that beat. If I get time, I might do that, and we might play it, and we might go viral. We might be rich, Chase.
We could get AI to do it for us,
and we get Dr. Crane to go with us, and we're big time after that.
Yeah, you know, one of the first things you said in the show, Joe, is that either one of us three have to make a song to go viral. This could be it.
Could you just imagine, like, I know Ditka didn't do it, but, like, if Vrabel was a part of it?
Oh, my gosh. Well, that's a better question. Did Ditka know they were doing this? I would always like to know if Ditka knew.
I'm going to guess no, because what I think I know about Mike Ditka,
right?
He'd probably be like, what the bleep are you guys doing? Like, I'm shocked that they did it. Like think about that coaching staff. Ditka, Buddy Ryan, like, those are not guys that would be okay with this.
Oh, my goodness. Gosh, that'd be fantastic. What Vrabel? I'll work on this, man. Before we got to get it done because we'll throw in Levis, Tannehill. Yeah, Dr. Crane. Dr. Crane's got something to say.
Yes, Mike Ditka, he denounced the Super Bowl shuffle.
Okay, I believe it.
Not said no, don't do it, but denounce is such a powerful word.
According to Sports Illustrated.
Oh, my goodness. Hey, we're taking your text, 615-737-1025, on what you think the greatest team is that you would roll with. How did we get on this subject about the 2007?
Like we do everything else, just randomly.
2007 Patriots. We got on that somehow, and I said it's not a championship team because they didn't win a championship. But we had a caller earlier about the Hurricanes 2002 team. They had set the this is from a couple years ago, modern-day record. They had 11 draft picks in the 2002 draft.
Wow.
Or 2003, whatever, the next year's draft that went on.
Okay, so who all was on that team?
I'm glad you asked, Chase, because Ken Dorsey's on that team. They had, Chaser, you ready? Here we go.
Go
they
ahead.
had Willis McGahee, Andre Johnson, Kevin Beard, Ken Dorsey, Frank Gore, Jarrett Payton. Who else here? Carlos Joseph, lineman. Chris Myers, a lineman. Kellen Winslow, tight end. Eric Winston drafted. DJ Williams on defense. Alonzo Marshall. Kelly Jennings, Artrell Roll, Sean Taylor, Jonathan Vilma, Jamal Green, Vince Wilfork, William Joseph, Andrew Williams, just to name a couple.
Jeez. He was a quarterback?
Woo, Ken Dorsey was a quarterback.
Yeah, okay.
Goodness.
Man. That was
and that's the game. Did McGahee blow his knee out in that game? Or was it Frank Gore? I don't remember which one. Somebody blew their knee out awful in that football game, and then
see, as long as Frank Gore played in the NFL, I thought he, was on like some of the Jimmy Johnson Miami teams. As old as
he'd been there quite a while. I mean, that team was fantastic. That team also beat UT that year in Neyland 26-3 in front of 107,000 people. And that leads to about Georgia rolling in the Knoxville on Saturday. I mean, we talked about Jordan Hare, but that crowd going crazy and all that. So it's weird. You see like 50,000, 47,000, 27,000, and then 107,000 that they had to do right there. But anyway, taking your question on the greatest sports team of all time. Chase, you said it is, and your opinion?
Well, if I'm going to pick one to ride with, I still think the 07 Patriots, even though they didn't win the Super Bowl, that's the statistically and roster-wise the greatest team ever.
Well, and the question becomes, do you have to win a championship to be considered the greatest team ever?
And most people are going to say yes.
Okay.
And 85 Bears won a championship. 72 Dolphins went undefeated and won a championship. And by the way, do you remember, and you talk about doing something before the fact, but so the game ends, the Giants win the Super Bowl, and like the first commercial was, I believe, a FedEx commercial. And it has the FedEx truck, and it pulls in, and it says Perfect Town, population 1, and it has like a lot of the 72 Dolphins like sitting on a porch, and Eli Manning gets out of the truck and like walks up with a package, and they're like, "Thank you, Eli, appreciate it." Like, it was so great.
I do remember that.
It was such a great commercial.
All right,
it was UPS or FedEx. I can't remember.
Now, would you consider your Braves team this past year a team that, had they won the World Series, been considered one of the greatest teams?
That's a good question. Yeah, I would have, because statistically they were up there for sure.
Oh, here's one that hurts. The 1990 Buffalo Bills team had Scott Norwood kick that field goal. Their team, they were 13-3, but the team, scoring wise, defensive wise, everything, and then they didn't win the Super Bowl. The 90 Bills.
Yep, that's a good one. Adam in Portland wants to weigh in on this. Adam, what's up?
Hey, what's up, bud? Hey, yeah, I was just thinking, because before the Titans got here, I wasn't like an Oilers fan or anything, but I love the Cowboys and I love the San Francisco 49ers. I love to hate them now. I hate everybody that's not a Titan, but that 89 Niners team was incredible. Like everybody on that team pretty much deserves Hall of Fame. Most of them are in it. And then that's when and people still are always going to fight me because, it's always Brady or Manning. Or Joe Montana, I think, is the greatest quarterback to ever live, just because everything was so different then. And he was still blowing the stats off the chart. And when he went to KC, he did the same thing. So I was like, yeah, even this old guy, he's amazing. So he's my favorite quarterback of all time. But I love that 89 team more than anybody.
It's a good call. Yeah, that's a team that beat the Broncos in the Super Bowl, and that was an awful Super Bowl, too. Is what Jerry Rice was unstoppable in that. Somebody texted in, Chase, and said the 2001 Seattle Mariners team, 116-46 regular season. They had Ken Griffey.
Was A-Rod?
They were without Ken Griffey. He'd been traded in 99, and A-Rod left the year before. So clearly those departures did not hurt Seattle, and they lost. They did not win the World Series.
Randy Johnson was gone too, right?
That's
he was
correct.
in Arizona.
Yep.
Wow. Huh. That's a good one. I didn't think about that. D-Mace just texted in and said the 95-96 Bulls.
Yeah, is that the
That's
one?
it. That's the one where they lost.
No, they won 72 games. Is that right?
Yeah, they won. That's what I mean. They only lost like 9 games or whatever it was.
I mean, think about that. I mean, look, you're going to go out there and you're going to play bad. You figure, even say 15, 20% of your games. The fact that they went 72 or 10 or whatever it was amazing. That's a credit to you. You watched the doc of The Last Dance with Jordan. I mean, you saw he treated practice more important than a basketball game. What's the one where the guy talks smack about the guy played for Washington and talks smack about him? It was a back-to-back. And the guy was it Gilbert Arenas maybe for Washington? D-Mace will probably know this. He talked smack about, he held Jordan like 17 points or something and talked garbage to him. And it was a back-to-back.
Yeah.
And the next night, they were either in Chicago or Washington, and Jordan just went crazy on him.
So if we're gonna talk the Bulls 72-10, they won. Do you put the 73-9 Warriors from 15-16 in the same category as the 07 Patriots? Because they lost to LeBron and the Cavs.
Yeah, you have to.
Game 7.
You have to.
That was I saw that team live. Actually, I saw them play the Dallas Mavericks, and it was one of their 9 losses because Steph didn't play.
Oh well, that's good. Another one, Vislama Jamma, 1983 Houston Cougars.
Oh, yeah.
Destroying teams left and right, and then NC State beats them with in the national championship game when I guess it was Lorenzo Charles.
Harold Miner, that's who Derek said.
Harold Miner. USC boy. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, I love this, man. Yeah. So but I think, again, to be considered the greatest team, you got to win a championship. You have to. I mean, that's the culmination of it.
Yeah, I agree. Look, I agree with that. I'm not pushing back. I'm just saying, like, I'm looking at it from statistics and the way the roster was built. I say that 07 Patriots was, especially in the NFL. I'm not. When we started this subject, it was on just the NFL. So I would say that they're that.
Here's one. Thank you. The Kentucky Wildcats 2015. They went 38-1. All they talked about was going 40-0 under John Calipari, and then they had Karl Anthony Towns, Willie Cauley-Stein were on that team. The twins, Andrew and Aaron Harrison, were on there. And was it Wisconsin that beat them? I think it was.
Was it? I thought it was Kansas.
No, Wisconsin beat him, and then Wisconsin lost the national championship to, I forget who it was.
Kansas.
To Kansas. But Wisconsin beat him, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Wisconsin beat him 71-60. Now, had Kentucky won that and gone 40-0, that 2015 Kentucky basketball team would have been the greatest college basketball team ever. But instead, we default back to 76 Indiana because that's the last perfect team with a record and everything, a championship to win everything. So you go back to the 76 team.
Is that Bobby?
That is Bobby. He won 76, 81, and 87.
That's crazy.
You're crazy.
Oh, yeah. 615-737-1025. Keep weighing in on this. We'll continue to talk about that next. It's Chase and Big Joe, presented by Regal Realty Group, 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
Sometimes it's good to be loud.
This is the NFL.
Especially when you're Jared Stillman.
That's where we are.
He's not afraid to say what's on his mind each and every day.
That was embarrassing. I don't care if you're a rookie. That was embarrassing.
Stillman and Company. Weekdays at 2 on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
This is Chris Sanders, former wide receiver for the Tennessee Titans. In football, sometimes we add new plays to the playbook to prepare for our next opponent. That's what boosters do to our immune system. They keep us game ready and our bodies healthy. I chose to get boosted and stay prepared and game ready. Make sure you're up to date on your shots. Talk to your doctor. Find out if you need to get boosted and make the decision about your health. Gear up, Tennessee. Go to vaccines.gov to find out where you can get boosted today.
Hey, let me tell you about Nashville newcomer Black Tap Craft Burgers and Beers in downtown Nashville. Black Tap features award-winning craft burgers, wings, salads, Instagram-famous Crazy Shake milkshakes, and kicking cocktails. Also, enjoy Black Tap's game day offer during NFL and college games and score your choice of wings with All-American Burger, plus a pint of beer for only $15. Happy hour starts from 4 to 7, and it's rocking. Go check out Black Tap downtown for its next-level craft food and drink, unmatched fun, throwback vibe, and awesome people. Hey, discounted parking is also available.
Urgent Camp Lejeune settlement message. On September 6th, the government announced it will soon begin providing fast, guaranteed settlements to Camp Lejeune Marines, families, and civilians. Awards will range between $100,000 and $550,000, with an option for higher amounts. If you or a loved one spent time at Camp Lejeune and suffered cancers of the bladder, liver, or kidneys, leukemia, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, Parkinson's, or kidney issues, you may qualify for compensation and could be paid within 60 days after accepting your settlement, with your VA benefits fully protected. You may be entitled to a significant financial award for your Camp Lejeune claim, but you must act now. Call the James Harris Law Camp Lejeune helpline now to get the compensation you deserve. We're already fighting for thousands harmed by the water at Camp Lejeune. Call now or you may forever lose your right to be awarded a settlement between $100,000 and $550,000. For your free evaluation, call 800-350-3322. That's 800-350-3322. 800-350-3322.
This year, Staples wants everyone to have a happy Holla Deal. That's right, Holla Deal. Staples Holla Deals are amazing savings on hot holiday tech. Great prices on laptops, game systems, earbuds, and more. And now at Staples, you can save up to $350 on select PCs. During Staples Holla Deals, it's not about the fa-la-la. It's about saving moo-la-la. Save up to $350 on select PCs today at Staples. Ends 11/18, in-store only. See associate for details.
Competitive Edge Strength and Conditioning is a locally owned and operated gym located off Lebanon Pike in Hermitage. Hey guys, it's Big Joe. At Competitive Edge is my gym, and they've made a huge impact in my life. Competitive Edge offers everything you want in a gym. Great rates, best personal trainers, super motivational, high energy workouts, clean and organized, great family atmosphere, and they offer a ton of great classes like my favorite, cardio boxing, which has changed my life. Competitive Edge is open 7 days a week, and they're ready for you to join. Make sure you go check them out and tell them Big Joe sent you.
I'm sorry, excuse me 1 second. Hello?
Hey, we love to hear from you.
Oh, gee, I can't talk right now. Why don't you give me your home number and I'll call you later?
615-737-1025.
Oh, I guess you don't want people calling you at home.
Sponsored by Wilson County Hyundai.
Chase and Big Joe are on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game.
Chase and Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Little bonanza for you on a TV theme Thursday. He's Big Joe Dubin. I'm Chase McCabe, Nick Frazier, Dr. Crane on the ones and twos.
This will make you feel old. Ben Cartwright during this show was like mid-40s, and he looked like he was 78. Lauren Green.
Yeah.
Good show, man. Michael Landon.
Do you remember the
Pernell
Simpsons,
Roberts?
The Simpsons episode where it's like they're at something and it's like, oh, Bonanza reunion, and it was just like 3 of the Native Americans that walk out because those were the only ones that were alive.
Oh my God!
Homer's like, wait, this isn't the whole cast.
Oh my Lord! You know what's
yeah.
funny about that? There's a thread out there about how the Simpsons predicted the future. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Like with Trump coming down the staircase, that was like 15 years earlier when Homer's at Trump Tower and he's coming down the staircase, and all kind of other things that happened and went on. It's pretty freaky, man.
There's some I haven't like done a deep dive into it. I know there's some like vague prediction of 9/11 that they had, but I mean there's like all this stuff that they have supposedly predicted that has come true.
Right.
It's
Crazy.
pretty fascinating, actually.
Well, I think you're fascinating.
Well, you're fascinating.
Please.
You can't. I don't think you can see me right now, can you?
Please stay away from me. Yeah, Ken, you're always in my thoughts and prayers.
I'm holding. I just randomly am holding the World Heavyweight Championship belt. You know, because I just wanted to feel like a champion today on our video stream. So.
Where's that from?
It's like the Ric Flair era big gold belt.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
nice.
Is that the World Heavyweight Champion belt?
That is the World Heavyweight Champion. The
Proud.
World's Heavyweight Champion.
Proud of you, Chase.
Thank you very much. So there's I wanted to touch on this real quick. Bill Barnwell writes for ESPN, has a new piece out on ESPN Plus, 2024 NFL Draft top pick scenarios, teams and games to watch. And he has 6 teams that are 7 teams that he believes could land the number 1 overall pick. The Bears obviously are in the lead right now with a 40.4% chance of landing the number 1 overall pick, a 70.4% chance of getting one of the top 2 picks. And then it's the New York Giants, the Arizona Cardinals, and then the New England Patriots at 4, the Green Bay Packers at 5, and at number 6 with a 0.5% chance of landing the number 1 overall pick. So you're telling me there's a chance, and a 2% chance of getting the top 2 picks, the lowly 3-6 Tennessee Titans. And I kind of laughed at this. I'm like, really? You know, you're just going to get Titans fans all, excited for nothing, having them on this list. 0.5% chance of getting the number 1 overall pick are the Tennessee Titans.
Well, I mean, why are you laughing? I mean, they're a terrible football team. There's
do you really think they're going to lose out?
Not on purpose. I don't think they're a good football team. They're not a good football. I mean, luckily they get Carolina next week here at home. They should win that game. If they don't win Carolina, if they lose to Jacksonville, lose to Carolina, they're absolutely on their way to be the number 1 pick in the draft next year.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you this, and Willie Donick is going to be very proud of me when he hears this, and I think he's probably listening on his way.
You're now using soap?
I started that last year.
Okay,
but. No, he used to get mad at me when I would say phrases like, "Oh, they should win this game." There is no such thing as a should win for the Tennessee Titans the rest of the way. I don't care if it's Carolina or who it is. Like, I'm not going to say they should win anything the rest of the way.
Okay, well, all right, they're 3-6. Well, let's do it again real quick. Your instant reaction at Jags.
Loss.
Panthers at home.
Win.
Colts at home.
Loss.
At Dolphins.
Loss.
Texans at home.
Loss.
Seattle at home.
For some reason, I'm going to say win.
Okay. At Texans.
Loss.
Finish the season at home against the Jags.
Loss.
So you got them going 5-12.
Yep.
Yeah, 5-12 doesn't guarantee you're not gonna, because Arizona's pretty bad. Bears are pretty bad.
There's some coin flip, like that Colts game at home. Like, they could win that.
Well, they always win.
I'm not gonna say should, but they could.
Yeah, I mean, and Stillman always brings this up. He's correct. They always win that one game that you don't think they do not have a chance. Like
right.
Seattle 2 years ago, Green Bay they should have beat Green Bay last year up there. They beat them.
No.
But yeah, like that Seattle game, I think I'm with you. I think like Christmas Eve, they beat Seattle. Seattle wasn't beat.
Seattle to me is that game that like they probably shouldn't win it, but they'll figure out how to.
Right.
That and maybe there's a division game. I mean, the other thing too that kind of I didn't think about is this week is their first, or second division game of the year. Like they've only played the Colts.
Wow.
Right. So, I mean, that's something to consider too. But in this article, are they tanking? Can they tank? Maybe. General manager Rand Carthon traded away veteran safety Kevin Byard at the trade deadline, and the team committed to Levis as its full-time starter after exactly one good performance. If Tannehill doesn't play again, the Titans will have paid him $27 million in 2023 for 6 starts with a league-worst 33.1 QBR. It seems there are better ways to spend $27 million, you think?
Well, there is, but let me like a great example. Ask Derek Mason. He was in the locker room for 14 years or whatever. They don't talk about tanking. Nobody brings that up. I mean, whoever started that is nonsense. And so I'm sure not one time if a player came up to Derek Mason and said, "Hey, you know what, D Mace? Let's just blow this game because we might get another draft. We might get a draft pick in the next year." I bet you D Mace would put him in a locker and stuff him in there forever. I mean, that's not. People don't think that way. And if you do think that way, don't be around me.
There's 2 reasons why they wouldn't think that way. The number one and most important reason of all of them is these guys are competitors. I don't care how much they're paid. They're competitors. Nobody wants to lose. And like you said, if you feel that way and you want to lose, then get off my team and get out of my locker room. And the second one is that they probably nobody thinks about, but it's the truth. Most of those guys aren't going to be here anyway.
Right.
What do they care about the high draft pick? I mean, if you're tanking and you're rebuilding, you're going to get rid of pretty much anybody anyway.
You are correct. You are correct, sir.
Yeah. So there you go. Coming up next, it's our favorite game, celebrity birthdays, plus the loss of a legend in NASCAR that I want to touch on.
Oh, no. When?
For a second. Yeah, we will discuss that. Coming up next, Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
Predators fans, Brewhouse South in Cool Springs, Brewhouse Highway 100 in Bellevue, and Brewhouse West on Charlotte Avenue is your home for hockey action all season long. They are Predators approved and all the games are on, and they'll even give you the sound. Get awesome game day drink specials on Blue Note Bourbon and Black Abbey Beer. When you think hockey, think Brewhouse South in Cool Springs, Brewhouse Highway 100 in Bellevue, or Brewhouse West on Charlotte Avenue. Go Preds!
You've heard of AI. We want you to know that some messages and content we broadcast is produced using AI. All content produced or written with AI is supervised by our staff before airing. AI is only a tool for all of us, and we use it for that purpose. You can be assured that we will not use AI in any way that is unworthy of your trust.
Need cash for the holidays or want to be credit card debt free for the new year? Call Loan Pronto today. Their Express Equity line of credit could get you $20, $50, $100,000 in as little as 5 days. Willie Donick here. Listen up. You've got a ton of equity in your home, and Loan Pronto can help turn that equity into cash to put it to use. You can access up to 95% of your home's value. Use the money to pay off all your credit cards or pay off personal loans. Start the home improvement project you've been looking for. You can get the money you need now and still keep your primary mortgage intact, so your 3% rate is protected. Call right now, 615-499-5780. Get the holiday cash you need or pay off all those credit cards. 615-499-5780 or go online at loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 166-1781, subject to lender approval.
Original Tennessee Titan and living legend Zach Pillar is new to Instagram, and he wants you to follow him. Go to Instagram right now and follow @ZachPillarDesign69 for some fun giveaways and to keep up with all of his life's updates, past and present. Zach Pillar is working on some exciting new projects and is doing great work in the community and wants to welcome you to his world. Won't you come in? Follow Zach on Instagram and tune into the Chasing Big Joe show every Tuesday at 10:30 to hear from Zach Pillar live on 102.5 The Game.
Paid actor portrayal.
I didn't see it coming. Life can be so unpredictable. After losing my dad, it made me think about my family if something were to happen to me. The mortgage, car payments, and all the other bills. Even things like our annual summer vacation would be out of reach. I had heard about life insurance through Ethos and how easy it was to get coverage. They were right. I knew it was time to stop putting it off and get life insurance right now. I got on my computer and went to ethoslife.com. In just 10 minutes, I was covered. And boom, family protected. Thanks to Ethos, my family won't have to worry about the bills if the unpredictable happens to me.
Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's GETETHOS.com.
Hey, we're all over social media. Give us a follow on Twitter at 1025 The Game. I'm at Chase on Game.
Yeah, catch me on MySpace at Big. We still have MySpace?
No, we're not. I told you.
Twitter. At Big Joe on the Go.
Chase and Big Joe are on 1025 and 1063 The Game.
He comes to the inside. Donnie Allison throws the block. Cale hits him. He slides. Donnie Allison slides. They hit again. They climb in the turn. They're hitting the wall. They're head on the wall. They slide down to the inside. Let's watch those third place cars. They're out of it. Who is going to win it? Here they come. Waltrip trying to slingshot. Petty is out in front at the line. Waltrip to the inside. Petty wins it. And there's a fight between Cale Yarborough and Donnie Allison. The tempers overflowing. They're angry. They know they have lost.
That was Ken Squire on the call for that. 1979 Daytona 500. The fight in the infield and put NASCAR on the map, pretty much. Ken Squire passing away last night at the age of 88. Back here, Chase and Big Joe Show, 1025, 1063 The Game.
Wow, I was watching that video. I mean, that's what a ending to a race, and what a voice. I mean, that's just that hurts, man. If you're a NASCAR fan, that one hurts.
Yeah, I mean, has been around the sport for a long time, and obviously 1979 was before my time, but being such a NASCAR fan, that Daytona 500 put them on the map, the mainstream map, because it was the first time that a race had been televised from flag to flag. They had shown, either on tape delay or had shown highlights or whatever, but a NASCAR race had never been televised from beginning to end, and it was on CBS, and a huge snowstorm hit the country, and so people were trapped in their homes, and the only thing to do was watch the Daytona 500. And so you see a thrilling finish in which Richard Petty wins, but the Allisons get into a fight in the infield with Cale Yarborough, and
yes,
it's like, okay, here we go.
That's
that welcomed people to the NASCAR world, and that was Ken Squire who brought it to us, and was with CBS for a long time. He was on Fox for a little bit at the beginning of their coverage, doing some pre-race stuff, but just sad, and he hadn't been doing well, and it was kind of expected that this was coming, but passing away at the age of 88, around 7:20 Central Time last night, as it was put out. So a lot of tributes to Ken Squire,
as there should be. I mean, that's every voice is that iconic. When Madden passed away, that one hurt too. And baseball has probably had more iconic voices because so many people loved listening to the radio of a Harry Carey or the who's the
Vin
guy?
Scully.
Who'd you say?
Vin Scully.
Yeah.
Mike Shannon with the Cardinals.
Who's the guy that is it Harry Callis for the Phillies?
Was he Phillies?
So.
Yeah, I mean you have a ton. Yeah, Harry Callis,
Joe Buck, Harry Callis. Right?
Yeah,
you are correct.
Jack Buck.
Jack Buck. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Phillies. Yeah, Harry Callis, Phillies. Passed away in 2009. Did Harry Callis. So, yeah, I mean, there's quite a bit of them. But you're right, baseball, Marty Brennaman just retired a few years ago with the Reds. I'd put him up there. I mean, Al Michaels is one. Al's done everything. Al Michaels is known for, Monday night and Sunday night football, but his most famous call is a hockey call.
It is on tape delay.
Yep. Do you believe in miracles? Yes.
That's and now he just talks about betting lines and uninspired plays.
I know.
The Amazon thing is just weird because I don't think Herb Street's any good calling pros, and Al is checked out.
Oh, Al is so checked out. Al's like, I don't care anymore.
Hey, we got a production meeting at noon. I'll be there at 4. I'll see you then.
Yeah, just tell me what I need to do. I mean, actually, the thing is, they've had some bad games. Tonight should be a good game. Bengals and Ravens. I would think that'd be a good game. So I mean, the Titans and Steelers wasn't terrible, but
no, I mean,
but I mean the Bengals and Ravens should be a good game for sure. So, but just wanted to talk about Ken Squire, pass that along as a legendary voice of NASCAR as they just wrapped up their season, and the awards will be here coming up in a few weeks. You and I are going to go get in some race cars tomorrow.
We are, and I'm going to do what that wreck that Ken Squire called. Who was that? Yarborough and who?
It was Cale Yarborough and Donnie Allison.
Okay, I'll take one of the two tomorrow. I'm going to wreck you on the. Can you imagine if I did that?
Well, see, we need to find who's going to be Bobby Allison, because what happened is Donnie and Cale wreck. They start getting into it. Bobby pulls into the infield to get out to see what's going on. Cale basically turns around with his helmet and knocks Bobby over the head, and then they all three start fighting.
I'll fight you and Ricky anytime, any place. When he comes here to fit. Dr. Crane's got my back, so I'm not worried at all.
There you
I
go.
wish we had more of that. Now, like, these little fights they get into are little slap fights.
And they know that they're going to be pulled away. But you watch that fight between Allison and Yarborough, they didn't care if anybody's coming to pull them. They're going to fight.
No.
And that's the thing now. It's a lot of that's for show now. So
yeah, what was funny about that is the legend is Bill France Sr. told them, all right, you two go, you three go settle this, and then you can come back to the racetrack. And you remember the scene from Days of Thunder?
Oh, yeah.
With Fred Thompson, where he's like, if you two is so much as touch, I'm going to tear your car apart and maybe let you put it back together.
Yep.
Supposedly that was kind of a reference to that he's like, y'all can go beat the you-know-what out of each other outside the racetrack, but you come into the racetrack, I don't want to see you touching.
Love it. All right, are you ready?
Let's do it. Let's get to celebrity birthdays.
Chase, whose celebrity birthday is brought to you by?
Celebrity Birthdays is brought to you by Zach Pillar and his new Instagram account. Follow Zach on Instagram at Zach Pillar Design 69 and step into his very interesting world.
It is. All right, here we go. Birthdays. First birthday up is singer Diana Krall. Krall. I'm sure you two boneheads have never heard of her, but she's fantastic.
Let's go 78.
Diana, we're going to go 66.
59. Well
Good
done.
start.
Lisa Bonet. How old is Lisa Bonet? Fun fact, who is she married to?
I don't know. I'm trying to place her. Like, I know the name.
She's from The Cosby Show.
Yes. Okay.
She's-
Lenny Kravitz.
Used to be. She's married to Aquaman now.
Okay. Yeah, but she was married to Lenny Kravitz.
You are correct, sir.
52.
63.
56. Actress Martha Plimpton. She was in the movie Parenthood. Martha Plimpton.
61.
That's what I was going to say. I'm going to go a little price higher. 62.
53. Maggie Gyllenhaal, actress. She's in one of those movies where they try to take the White House.
Yeah, she's in Batman Begins, too.
Oh, she is.
45.
54.
46. Chaser knows his Batman Begins movies. Actor and comedian Pete Davidson, who's coming to Ryman Auditorium next month. Pete Davidson.
Pete Davidson is 52.
34?
It's 30. 52.
I'm thinking of somebody else.
Come on, man.
Sorry.
Joe Azuzu, actor David Leisure from the great commercials. He's also an Empty Nest. He's one of the Hare Krishnas in the movie Airplane. He's the one that comes down from the ceiling.
Oh, yeah. 81.
Oh, boy. I'm going to go a little lower. I'm going to go 77.
73. Dr. Crane, you got to get there. You're so close, buddy. Let's see who else is here. We guys doing good today? Good. Good to see you.
I think I heard Caroline laugh at me for Pete Davidson.
Well, I'm laughing too, man. Should have got
We're all
that.
laughing.
There's a lot of people. All right. Chuck Finley, former Major League Baseball pitcher. Was he not married to Tawny Kitaen, I think, at one time?
Yeah, and
Rest in peace.
owned the A's, right?
No, that's Charlie Finley.
Oh, well, I thought they called him Chuck. Sorry.
Well, he probably did, but this Chuck Finley did not own the A's.
Okay.
Good loud.
A's moving to Vegas, by the way. Chuck Finley, 68.
74.
61. Olympic skater Oksana Bayul. How old is she today?
40.
Oksana, we're going to go a little higher. We're going to go 51.
46. And we'll finish it out. Chase, if you get this, you win. Dr. Crane, if you get it, it's a tie. Former Major League pitcher Dwight Gooden. How old is Dwight Gooden?
Ooh. Willie would know this. 57.
I'm going to go, this is tough. I'm going to go 59.
59 exactly.
Let's go.
Nice.
Well done. We got a tie. Very well done. Good
Very
job.
good.
Good
Very
job,
good.
boys. Hey, before we go, as we tell you every day, for our guys out there, we'll let you know that we love you. If you're struggling to talk to somebody, please call 988 on your phone. Talk to somebody. Please open up. It's okay not to feel okay, and know that we love you guys.
Caroline, Willie, and D-Mace coming up next. 102.5, 106.3, The Game.